Let me ask you something. If I asked you right now how much profit your business has, how much money your business is making, or how much taxes you owe, could you tell me without ever logging on to anything? Most business owners can't. And it's not because they're bad at business, it's because they're just not looking at the right numbers. Today, we're breaking down the 5 numbers that every business owner must know at the top of their head. And the last one is the reason why a lot of successful businesses still struggle. So stick around to that one. Stick with me, because if you're missing even one of these, you're running your business on guesses and not fact. Let's start with the one that everyone thinks they know. Monthly profit. Not revenue, not what actually hits your bank account. Profit is what's left after all expenses are taken out, like the net profit. A common trap I see with a lot of business owners is they look at their bank and they said, hey, we made $20,000 this month. And that's the problem, because when you actually break it down and you take all the expenses out, that $20,000 is only actually $1,000, maybe 200 in profit. Or even worse, sometimes nothing at all or negative. Profit will actually tell you if you're selling the right products, if your expenses are under control, or even if the business is worth running or not. You can literally grow revenue every month to month, but still be losing profits month to month. And most profit problems don't start with sales. They start with expenses, which is number 2. Your expenses categories. This is the spot where money just quietly leaks out without business owners. Knowing your expenses by category means that you know exactly how much you spent on software, how much you spent on advertising, contractors, inventory, all of it. A big one that I see is subscriptions. Business owners will start a subscription and they're paying for it every month and then forget about it, don't use it anymore, but it's still drawing money out of their bank. And if you're just tracking your total expenses with one big number and you're not breaking it down into categories, that's a problem, because a lot of expenses are hiding underneath that big number. When expenses are broken down into categories, you're able to see exactly where money is going. And almost every time we do this, business owners are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we were spending that much money on subscriptions or advertising. And they didn't realize that that's where all the money was going to. And let me get this straight. This is not about cutting everything. You're going to have have expenses to run your business. But it is about knowing what expenses are helping your business grow and what expenses are just draining money out. And that leads directly to the next number. And that's number 3. Cash flow is literally the heartbeat of your business. And if you're not tracking it, you're reacting and not planning. And there's another big number that causes most of the stress throughout the entire year. And that is number 4, the taxes owed. This is where a lot of business owners panic. And it's because they're just not planning for it. They're saying, oh, I'll handle it when tax season comes. And that's just hoping for the best. And hope is not going to run a successful business. If you don't know how much taxes you owe as you go through the year, or how much you should be setting aside in order to pay for, tax season turns into stress and scrambling, and worst of all, debt. Taxes should never be a surprise. When your books are clean and updated, taxes are simple. They're not a surprise at all. They actually become predictable. It's just another number to handle and keep track of. And now we get to the most ignored number of all of these. Number 5, outstanding invoices. This one surprises people because you've already made the money, you've earned the money, and technically it's on your balance sheet, as accounts receivable. You should be receiving this money, but you haven't received it yet. If you look on your balance sheet and this number's really high, your problem isn't sales, because you're making sales. It's collections. I've seen businesses struggle for cash when they're sitting on thousands and thousands of dollars of invoices that should be paid. That's not a growth problem, that's a systems problem. When you track outstanding invoices, you know exactly who owes you money, how long it's been outstanding, and when cash should be come in realistically. Ignoring this number is like doing the work for free and then just hoping that it comes back to you. You have to stay on top of this number and send reminders. That way you are getting paid for the work that you've already done. You don't need complicated reports, and you don't need to be really a numbers guy. You just need clear books in order to understand where your business is. So to recap, The 5 numbers that every business owner needs to know before they log on to something is monthly profit, expenses by category, cash flow, taxes owed, and outstanding invoices. When these are clear, decisions gets easier, stress goes down, and your business has a roadmap to success. But here's the thing, even if you're managing all 5 of these numbers, your books could still be off. And that's why you need to watch my last video in order to understand how, bad bookkeeping practices. And this video right here will explain exactly that.